This is WWJ Whipping with Joe from the island of Kauai, Hawaii. Aloha. First of all, I want to say thank you very much for those who have donated to my site, and uh, and also who have got the lures for donating to my site, and I appreciate that very much. Also for the people or the fans who have um, messaged me and or made comments to my YouTube videos. I appreciate that. To date, we've got over 2,000 subscribers. We've got over 700,000 hits, and we're averaging about 2,000 hits per day. And I appreciate that. And the top 15, most of them are GTs, and then we've got Moy, and then of course the Ninu in color. I basically started whipping. I'm born and raised here, but started whipping actually before 2008. In 2009, I went on a challenge by Mike Turia. Mike Turia from Kauai. He's a fisherman, avid fisherman, and he is a Moy catcher. So he was looking through my books. I had 5 photography stores, and he came into one of my stores, and he's seen my brag books, I call them. And in those brag books, you had the fish that I caught, with whipping and dunking. He was more attuned to whipping. So anyway, whipping, I started for Moy because of him. I didn't have no Moy catches in my brag books, and he commented how come I didn't have no Moy pictures. I said, well, because I don't know how to catch that fish. So April of that year, he challenged me, and so I asked, well, how do we supposed to go catch some Moy? He told me, well, first we got to get a 5-gallon can. We got to get a compressor and a pumper, and we need a net, and we're going to go to the Hawaguchi farm, the taro farm, which is in Honolulu, and we're going to catch some dojo in the taro patches. And I thought, well, so how long is that going to take? He said, well, it depends how much you're going to catch. We want to catch at least about 2 dozen, he said. So and I said, okay, then where do we going to do with that? He said, well, we got to carry the pumper and the tank, and the 5-gallon can, of course, with the fish inside, because that's our bait. And we're going to go to where the Moy, he knows where the Moy's at. So I thought, well, how far we've got to walk? And he said, well, we've got to walk pretty far, maybe a quarter of a mile, maybe half a mile, maybe further. I said, well, we got to carry all that, plus the fishing equipment? He said, yeah. So I said, well, man, that was too much work. I didn't have room for my beer, I told him, so we laughed about that. So anyway, I didn't want to follow his technique, I told him, but it was too much work. I'll go find my own thing. So what I did was April 19th, 2009, when I first started from Moy. The scenario is there's 4 people on the beach just whipping. There's 3 people on the left side whipping, and there's a small area here, probably around, I'd say maybe 20 yards, if 20 yards long. But nobody was fishing in this area. So anyway, I was thinking, well, I wonder why. So this is about 11 o'clock in the morning. So I had just gone to Pono Market at that time. I had a Coors Light, so I was drinking a Coors Light, and I was eating my poke. And I figured, well, I'll finish my snack here, and then I'll go and fish the area where nobody was whipping. Anyway, I went in that area, and lo and behold, I caught 13 Moy in that area. I brought it up to my car, and then I put it in another cooler, and then I turned back, and I was going to go back. But then when I looked back, I had 7 people that were fishing on the left and right of me was in the area that I was fishing. So I figured, oh wow, this is interesting. I guess, well, they see me catching, so they came over there. So anyway, I went to the left of the group, and I caught the 2 biggest Moy on the left side. And then, of course, I'm not sure who they were this time. I've never seen them before. But they asked me, how do I do it? I said, well, I don't know, because I found the technique with it. But anyway, so that was my reason for going to whipping for Moy. It was a challenge. Anyway, but that year I caught 247. The next 3 more years I caught like close to 750, maybe more. So in 4 years I caught over 1,000 Moy. And in that time I met, that was 2012 then, and then I met Jeff Gahn. Jeff Gahn, we met because of the Moy and also of the Pen 714 Zulu reel, which I was using. I've been using that since 1982, if I'm not mistaken. I bought that reel in 1982 in Colorado, and that reel has gone all over with me. I had 5 of those, 3 for my kids, my wife, and myself. So 5 Pen 714 Zeus. Never changed that reel. I was using that. Anyway, I caught a lot of fish with it. Ninu, Kala, Boy, and everything. Then Jeff Gahn challenged me on the Omilo, and I didn't know what the Omilo was. I'm born and raised in Waimea. Everything is popular to me. And he said, no, the Omilo world record was 28.5 pounds in 2012. So he said that would be a record that I could go after. I said, well, it sounds good to me. So of course I started, and how I got into the Kako lures was I was looking for a lure that looks like an ahukini, and Lihui Fish Supply had that. Anyway, so that was 2012. In 2012, I had lost 11. I was spooled 11 times with I had 8-pound test, then I changed it to 10, and then I had 12-pound test. But I started with small gear, but I got spooled. It's because the line was too small, fish was too big. But on my 12 spooler, which is the first video I put up, was February 2013. And February 2013 was my first GT video that I had produced. I had already been spooled 11 times before that. 10 with a Kako lure, and then 1 with the Rebel wind cheater that I got from Jeff Gahn. So anyway, so I changed from 12-pound test. I had 12-pound test at that time. I changed over to braid, 12-pound braid, which is equal to 50-pound test. Went and spooled it, so I figured I could catch a monk seal. But lo and behold, the next day, it's on my video. It's spooled in 30 seconds, and I had 50-pound braid, and with a Kako lure, and I got spooled, and that was my 13th spooler. So I figured, well, since I was getting spooled so many times, I had to go to a bigger reel. And of course, that started my succession. I went to 3000 wheels, like a 3000 FI, 3000 CI4, 4000 FI, 4000 CI4. Then I went to 3 5000s FJ. I caught one, a 22-pound Omilo on that with 30 braid. That's the biggest fish I caught with 30 braid and a 5000 reel. Then got spooled on that, so I went to 10,000. I went to 3 10,000 FJs, and then I went to 3 8,000 FJs. And then thought that, well, I also went to 1/8 Sphairos, and then I stuck with 6 Sphairos, and that has been my go-to reel ever since then. That was 2014 when I started using the Sphairos. But I started learning about the drag. The first ones I got earlier was the drag was too loose. Then I got too tight drag. It was Omilo 8, Omilo 9, and Omilo 10. There were 3 videos that are produced with tight drag, and all I can say is tight drag is dangerous because if you're not ready and you've got a strike, you're apt to either get hurt by holding on to the reel and get off balance and fall down, or you could lose the rod and reel. So after Omilo 10, I changed my drag setting, and I got down to the setting that I'm going to show you right now. And so anyway. And that's where we're at. We're going to show you how I set my drag and learn this drag system landing using the Sphairos. With the Sphairos, I've landed 11 GTs after setting the drag correctly. I haven't changed the drag setting ever since I've done that. And I'm using 50-pound braid with a 7 or 6'10" rod. I would think that the 6'10" rod and the 7-foot HMG would be the same setting. It's about 6-pound drag out of the reel. But now I've got it connected to a rod, so we're going to see how it is now. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to turn this camera here, put it on my head, and then what we've got for this one here, we've got the scale, electronic portable scale, pretty good one, I think so. And we're going to set this out. We're going to set this out to pounds there, and we can go kilograms up. We're not doing it. Anyway, what we got here is we've got a 610 rod, HMX. To a Sphairos 6000, it's locked down, 6000 SW. It's got 50-pound braid in it, so we're going to lock it down here. It's already locked down, and this is my drag setting. It's 180 degrees, and not 180 degrees, just loosening the drag. Now this is tied to the tip. We're going to hook it up. We're going to see what it pulls to the drag.